Okay, so I want to do a quick little video, podcast thing, whatever, about spiritual wellness. A lot of people are becoming more enlightened, and that is wonderful. So, when you are trying to be spiritually healthy, first, what you need to do is shadow work and peel off those disgusting layers and get rid of the bad stuff that blocks you and makes you mentally unhealthy, things that you need to let go of from the past, bad character traits that you have that you can help. Get rid of all that. Because when you strip that off yourself, it makes it easier to love yourself, which is the next thing you need to do is, now that you've taken all that bad away, fill it with good. In my book, it's called Filling Your Chalice. It's a whole chapter about self-love. And in that chapter, I talk about, ways that you can just love yourself, fall back in love with yourself, stare at yourself in the mirror, find at least one thing that you love about yourself and start there. And then start finding more things that you love about yourself. And then start doing affirmations. And if you can't think of any, you can start with ask-formations, where you just ask yourself a question before you fall asleep. And then oftentimes your subconscious will work it out for you. So if you said before you went to sleep, if you said, higher self, could you please show me an attribute about myself that I'm not aware that I have, then you may dream about it, or you may dream about a situation where you had to demonstrate this characteristic even though you didn't realize you were doing it. Okay? So it's a good thing to keep a dream journal, especially when you're doing things like that. You can also meditate on that. That is also very important to being spiritually healthy. You also need to practice gratitude every day, every morning. As soon as you wake up, look around the room and find some things that you are grateful for, at least 5 things. And they don't have to be things that are in the room. It helps because you can visually see them. But if, your air conditioner is working and you're not sweating your butt off or freezing, if you're in a different hemisphere, then, that can be something. It's so easy to find things to be grateful for. That's the wonderful thing about gratitude, is you don't have to look very, very hard. Not in America and most countries that have access to technology like this. We're not starving to death. We're doing okay. So do a gratitude journal. You can look up gratitude prompts. If you can't just think about things that you're thankful for and start it like that, you can do that. Whatever makes it easy for you to journal, because it is important to do that. And then you need to do some personal reflection, okay? So you can ask yourself questions like this. I found this little list online and then I added to it. So you can ask yourself, and you would answer these things in a journal would be best. That way you can refer back to it if you need to. So you could ask yourself a question like, what gives my life meaning and purpose? And really think about that. What gives me hope? What makes me happy? What things make me feel peaceful? How do I get through tough times? Where do I find comfort? Can I tolerate other people's views about life? How do you react when someone starts talking about something that you completely disagree with? What do you do? Do I make attempts to expand my awareness of different ethnic, racial, religious groups, cultures, and anything that might not be in your norm? Do you do that? You should do that. especially if you're living in America, because we have everybody here. Do I make time for relaxation in my day? Do you? Please do. If you're not, do that. And meditation is the best way to relax. It really is. And showering is good because those things ground you. Showering does ground you. Do my values guide my decisions and actions? And just reflect on those things. And then other things that you can do. You might want to start a daily, like a morning routine where you get up a little earlier and do some things, like maybe in the morning, instead of getting straight up and going right for the coffee pot, go for the water, and then do some type of meditation, exercise, or yoga. You can even do visualizations if you want, but it's a really good idea to do at least a short 5-minute meditation or yoga session in the morning. It's good. It gets your body, the yoga gets your blood flowing. It helps to clean out your lymphatic system. So does the water. And it's a good time. My sister likes to do her water with lemon and honey, and she swears by it. So you can try that. I don't like it. I'd rather just have plain water. I don't like the lemon and honey in my water at all. But if you can take it that way, do it, because it's got killer health benefits. So also taking part in spiritual activities, whether they're online, because you can go to Facebook groups and do so many free online things, or either meeting with a group of spiritual people that are similar to you, maybe not exactly the same, but similar to you, and taking part in those activities. It's just fun. It's fun, and it helps strengthen your faith. It helps strengthen bonds. You meet new people, and possibly even a new love connection, if you're single, could come out of that. You never know. So spend time outdoors, especially if you can do it alone. It's good to be with people, but sometimes you need to be alone. Just you and nature and the sounds of nature, no earbuds, and just be out there, okay? And just think about, just soak it in. You can also keep journaling and journal about the meaning of life. What does life mean to you? And then refer back to that journal entry and see if it changes, because you might want to change it. I would write that in pencil because it's going to change, especially as you grow spiritually. Building awareness of your mindset is super, super important. Super important. Stay positive, stay happy, stay optimistic. And also helping others. Please help others. I've talked about helping others so much. And you don't do it out of the, if I give, I'll receive. That's not why you help. You help because you can, and because you want to, and because you feel called to help an individual or a cause, not for any other reason. If you're doing it for another reason, just don't do it in the first place. Don't do it. So you can also get into the arts. So if you like music, surround yourself with beautiful music. I recommend trying to listen to 432 hertz binaural beats, things like that, as much as possible. You do not have to get rid of all your music. And I will tell you, this is not really related, but if you watch the news all the time, stop. I think I said that in a couple of tarot readings. Stop. You can check in on the news, but don't do it first thing in the morning. Do it like in the the middle of the day, where it's not going to affect you throughout the whole day. Even in the evening would be good, but not right before you go to bed either, because then it's going to mess up with your night routine, which you should have as well. That should consist of at least some form of meditation, your visualizations, some form of scripting, and then your visualizations taking place as you're falling asleep. Or if you have insomnia like I do, when you should be going to sleep, and then try to go to sleep. And if you can't, visualize again if you want. Why not? You're already up. So these were just some things that I thought would help, somebody that's wanting to grow. Because when we go through our spiritual journey, it is so interesting what we have to go through. We have to learn lessons to move up to the next level of enlightenment. That's why chosen people and very enlightened people often really struggle in life, because there are 7 levels of spirituality. And I'll go through them real quick for you because they're very interesting. But it's 7 stages of spiritual development. And what happens is the first step is you're born. And I've talked about this before, how children are the closest to the divine because they haven't been mind raped yet by society. Their body and their whole life is dominated by their 3 lower chakras. They are just always in love and bliss and joy and happy. Kids are happy. If kids are sad, something's wrong. They shouldn't be sad. Yeah, they're going to get sad here and there, but you shouldn't have a depressed kid, because they shouldn't have anything depressed about. So, sadly, as you grow, that ego starts to develop. And ego is not always bad. You can fix your ego by doing the things that I've said in this video and other videos. Having the right mindset can fix your ego, and you can actually make your ego work for you instead of against you. But normally it doesn't happen like that fast. It's, a slow process to fix all that. So if you have children, be careful how you raise them. I am currently writing a book about this, and as a parent of a 5-year-old, I'm really putting my heart into this, which I do with everything I write, but especially this, because this could potentially fix the future so that this stops happening. Because when that ego develops, you lose so much. You lose that true connection to the divine. You don't lose it completely, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. And that's just so sad. So then you have stage 3, which is power. So in your desire to overcome fear, you create some type of success in your life. You might be working on your education, starting a career, starting a family, starting new relationships, building, growing. But you want to have as much control in life so that you don't have fear. And you are very much in this stage sort of material. Material matters a lot to you. And this is stage 3 of 7. So when you're in this energy, the universe will provide some type of obstacle for you to go through. And if you can get through that first thing correctly, then you'll move to stage 4. But a lot of times people will just stay self-centered, stay really materialistic. And it's not bad to want nice stuff. That's not what I mean by materialistic. I'm saying that people that are truly materialistic only care about material stuff. They don't care that much about their relationships. It's all about, getting this, getting that. And that shit is just stuff. You can't take it with you when you leave. But it's nice to have. So stage 4, so if you pass that, you move up to stage 4, which is giving. And I talked about giving a certain way. You do not feel You do not give to make yourself feel any type of way. You give to help. That's it. Whether it's money, whether it's carrying someone's groceries out to their car for them, whether it's helping your elderly neighbor with the mail every day because you want to. That's all. So then, if you can continue growing, there's going to be another obstacle or choice that you're going to have to make. So this is going to kind of connect to helping others, and this you're going to be tested about your compassion and if you can be truly selfless. And that's why it comes after the giving, to see if you can give from a right place. And when you do that, then you have stage 5, the seeker. This is when you start to get a lot deeper. Okay, now is when you would begin, developing your spiritual practices and adding to things, adding to your morning routines, adding to your night routines, your daily routines. Oh, and when I was talking about routines, part of your spiritual routine should be spiritual hygiene, which is doing some kind of saltwater shower, saltwater bath, or smoking yourself out with something when you get home from somewhere where you've been around a bunch of people. So, stage 5, the seeker. Now what's happening with you, you're developing those practices, you're growing, you're becoming really enlightened, and your decisions mostly come from your 4th chakra, which is your heart. And when we can make decisions and think from a place of love, we're very rarely going to make the wrong decision, okay? So you begin to look for the deeper meaning of things, and you try to understand why you're here and how you can make your life more meaningful. You might even start studying with some type of guru or spiritual teacher. You're going to start reading more enlightened books, and you have glimpses of the goal that encourage you to remain on the path. And your throat chakra opens as you express the qualities of your heart and your life. So that makes me think a lot about gratitude as well. And then you have stage 6, which is the sage. So cosmic consciousness dawns. Your mind fully awakens. So you are like about to blossom. You're not afraid of death anymore because you understand that it is just part of life and it's inevitable, and you don't care about it. You don't care about it. You kind of turn into you're more energetic, and I don't mean you have more energy. I mean you are more energy than you were previously. But there's still a small separation between you and spirit because you're quite not at that next level. So to get to that next level, there's a 3rd choice. So now you're at a critical point because you can only go one more level. So this one is whether you're going to be shown something or given some kind of challenge where you have to learn that you are special, you are unique. You did not reach this level of sage by mistake. You have to believe that and learn that lesson so that you can move on, okay? If you don't, then you'll stay at sage, but that's okay. That's okay. If you can't realize these things yet about yourself, you can stay in this energy for a while, and then maybe you will be given it again. But some questions that'll help you out with this to develop your spiritual wellness would be, you could say, how can I serve? What can I do to make the earth better than it was when I got here? How can I make the world a better place? and think from that. Think from love, think from helping and love. So you're kind of combining all the lessons together, which is what you do anyway. So when you're doing this, your insight and spiritual inspiration begin to grow, and you hear the voice of the inner guru as the sixth chakra opens. So when you get to stage 7, it is called spirit. Your heart now fully awakens. You experience divine and unity consciousness. There's no longer any separation. There's no giver, given, or giving, no sense of I or me. It's just an awareness of oneness. I actually have a shirt in my store. I'll link it below. It says the word oneness on it. You still live in the world, but you are no longer of the world. Okay, you're understanding that you are an intentional creator at this point as well, which you probably picked that up somewhere along the way, but at this point you realize it 100%. Your spiritual practice is pure joy. All of your chakras are open, they're balanced, your energy is flowing freely. So that's where you want to get. And then once you get there, you're not going to be given any other choices because you've learned everything. So by that point, you're the totality. Everything's in perfect harmony. And you don't have to worry about anything else. I mean, it's going to be awesome after that. So just be disciplined with it. And if you get off track, it's okay. You're human. You're human. You're becoming more enlightened, but you're still ultimately human. So that's okay. Just don't give up. Keep going. And if you need to get a life coach, I do offer that if you need help along the way. So just let me know. I'll put the info in the description. But I think that's all that I have about that, guys. Just make sure that you try your best to live life out of love and gratitude and just be happy and make those around you happy as well. All right, blessed to be.